Chapter 4, Results and Discussion. For Table 1, width of the paw before and after inducing carrageenan. Table 1 shows the normal width of the paw and its width after inducing carrageenan. There are differences between the means of the normal paw width of the cheek in 3-time treatments. To determine whether these differences are significant, the one-way ANOVA analysis of variance was computed. So for Table 2, this is the results of ANOVA to compare the means between the treatments. Table 2 shows that no significant differences were observed between the means of the treatment groups before and after inducing carrageenan. This is revealed by the computed F with significant level of greater than 0.05. This means that the width of the paws of the cheeks is the same for all the 3 treatments before and after inducing the drug. Since no significant difference were observed after inducing carrageenan, it means that the swelling effect of the drug is the same for all the subjects. So for Table 3, mean width of the swell of paws by treatment and time interval. Table 3 shows the width of the swell of the paws of the cheeks in the 3 treatment groups and in the given time intervals. There are differences in the amount of swell between 3 treatment groups in the 3 time intervals. To determine whether these differences are significant, the one-way ANOVA analysis is computed. For Table 3, these are the results of ANOVA to compare the means between the treatments in each time intervals. Table 4 shows the results of the multiple comparisons of the mean widths of swell between the treatments in the 3 time intervals. The table implies that there is at least one pair of means among the 3 comparisons in each time interval that are significantly different. To determine which pair of means are this, the Bonferroni test of multiple comparisons was run.
Table 5 shows that in the 60-minute time interval, no pairs are significantly different as seen in the significance level. In the 120 and 180-minute time interval, it can be concluded that the anti-inflammatory potential of the treatment in the positive control is more effective than the treatment in the negative control. In 120-minute time interval, the other 2 pairs, negative control versus crude extract and positive control versus crude extract, are found not to be significantly different. It implies that the anti-inflammatory potential of the treatment in the negative control is as effective as the treatment in the crude extract. Also, the anti-inflammatory potential of the treatment under positive control is as effective as the treatment in the crude extract, which is the same with the 180 time interval. Table 6 shows the normal thickness of the pus and its thickness after inducing carrageenan. It concluded that there are differences between the means of the normal thickness of the pus of the cheeks in the 3 treatments. Table 7 shows that there is a significant difference between the means of the treatment groups before inducing carrageenan. It concluded that there is no significant difference between the means of the thickness of the pus in the 3 treatment groups.
Table 8, thickness of the inflammation of the pus by treatment and time interval. So this table shows the thickness of the inflammation of the pus of the cheeks in the 3 treatment groups and in the given time intervals. The thickness of the inflammation is determined by getting the difference between the width of the normal pus and its width after the given time interval, 60 minutes, 120 minutes, and 180 minutes. It shows that the amount of inflammation decreases as the time after the treatment increases in the 3 time intervals for each of the 3 treatment groups. Here on the table 9 shows the results of the comparison of the mean thickness of the inflammation between the treatments in the 3 time intervals. At 60 minutes and 120 minutes time intervals, the null hypothesis of no significant difference is rejected, which is tantamount to accepting the alternative hypothesis. It implies that there is a significant difference between the means of the thickness of the inflammation of pus of the subjects in the treatment after 120 and 180 minutes. It implies further that there is at least one pair of means among the 3 comparisons in each time interval. So to determine which pair of means is significantly different, the Bonferroni test of multiple comparisons was run. So the Bonferroni results are shown here on the table 10. The multiple comparisons for the 60 minutes and 120 minutes intervals are no longer included in the table, since table 9 shows that there is no significant difference between the means of each time interval. The table shows that positive control versus crude extract is found to be not significantly different as revealed by the significance level of greater than 0.5, and the crude extract versus passive control found to be significantly different.
The findings of our study is first, there is a significant difference between the means of the width of the inflammation of the positive control and the negative control after 120-minute and 180-minute time intervals. There is no significant difference between the means of the width of the inflammation of the positive control versus negative control after 60-minute time interval. There is no significant difference between the means of the width of the inflammation of positive control versus the crude extract after 60, 120, and 180-minute time interval. Second, there is a significant difference between the means of the thickness of the inflammation of positive control versus the negative control after 180-minute time interval. There is a significant difference between the means of the thickness of inflammation of the crude extract versus the negative control after 180-minute time interval. There is a significant difference between the means of the thickness of the inflammation of the crude extract versus the positive control after 180-minute time interval. There is a significant difference between the means of the thickness of the inflammation of the three treatments after 60 and 120-minute time intervals.
Conclusions. Based on the findings, it can be concluded that the Philippine oregano leaf extract has anti-inflammatory potential. Recommendations. Based on the given findings, this may benefit the future researchers as a reference material. Following recommendations are to be considered. For the future researchers to conduct other research on the therapeutic uses of Plectranthus amboinicus, Philippine oregano, crude extract like antibacterial, antiviral, larvicidal, antioxidant. For the community to recommend the use of Plectranthus amboinicus, Philippine oregano as anti-inflammatory as a low-cost medicine, particularly in rural areas.